Welcome back to Harmonia. Shiona laughed, but I still didn't understand what she was saying. I wondered if it was because my emotions were still broken. Or maybe To take my mind off of it, I continued to pour the soup into my body. But I never felt any orange feeling.
お腹いっぱいになった?
Shiona asked just as I was draining the rest of the soup from the bowl. My stomach was indeed full, physically. Yeah, completely full.
そう、よかった。ねえ、レイ、お願いがあるんだけど。
Yes? I had a strong reaction to what she had said. Asking me to do something means she wants me to be useful, which makes it almost like an order. Shiona was asking me to help her.
今から買い物に行くんだけど、手伝ってくれない？荷物が多くて運べないと思うの。
Of course, leave it to me. If I was helpful to Shiona, then that could only mean my existence had meaning. What are you going to go buy?
食料とか、消耗品とか、とにかくたくさんよ。
Where are you going to shop?
マッドさんのお店。ここから歩いて10分くらいかな。
Got it. Well, let's go.
すぐに？食べてすぐに動くと体に悪いよ。
I wasn't sure, but apparently it was. We decided to wait an hour before going, and spent the time relaxing after our meal. Exactly 1 hour later, we left to go do some shopping. The outside air was dusty, and it made each breath hurt the back of my throat. The air was so laden with dust and grit that it occasionally got in my eyes. The sky above was filled with thick black clouds, without a hint of blue. It seemed Shiona's home in the church was actually on the outskirts of town. Isn't that... Walking a bit from the house, a vast expanse of reddish earth could be seen. Now that I think of it, were you the one who carried me here after I collapsed?
うん、そうよ。町の人にも手伝ってもらったけどね。でもびっくりしたよ。何もないところで倒れてるんだもの。
Well, I was hungry while walking, and then I just went down, I guess.
そっか。私が見つけられてよかったよ。
But how exactly did you find me anyway? Did you have any reason to be out there at all?
レイが倒れていたすぐ近くに廃工場があるの。そこがゴミ捨て場になってるんだ。
So you just found me by accident while you were throwing your trash away?
うん、そうよ。ゴミを捨てたら、レイを拾ったの。
I couldn't make heads or tails of it. After walking a bit, houses and shops started appearing. It started to look like a town. As we walked, the number of people steadily increased compared to the total absence earlier.
こんにちは、おじいちゃん。
Shiona started talking to an elderly man. Oh, if it isn't Shiona. Hello. You look beautiful as always.
ありがとうございます。メガネの調子はどうですか？
They've been working great since you polished the lenses.
そうですか。それは良かったです。
It's a good thing that young boy also made a good recovery.
え、本当に？
Please polish them again if my eyes get worse, okay?
もちろんです。
I started thinking as soon as we left the old man. Was I that young boy he was talking about? Then someone called out to Shiona. Oh, is that you, Shiona? This time it was a woman. A human middle-aged woman. She was a lot bigger than Shiona.
こんにちは。その後の腰のお加減どうですか？
Way better than before. You really saved me back there. Thank you.
いえいえ。いつでも買い物が必要だったら言ってください。買いに行きますから。
Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm glad that young boy is feeling better. Hey everyone, Shiona is here. As soon as that larger middle-aged woman raised her voice, a swarm of children gathered.
みんな、こんにちは。
It's Shiona! Shiona! Can I come over for soup again?
もちろんよ。待ってるね。
Your soup is so good. Let's go tomorrow.
はいはい。たくさん作って待ってるね。
Sorry about that. I'm glad he's feeling better. Me too. Me three. Shiona kept smiling at them. And as they saw her face, they returned her smiles with their own. I just gazed at her from the side. I felt as though I could look at that smile forever. It's alright. Oh, I guess that young boy's feeling better, huh? Again, someone called out to her. It was a respectable-looking man with stiff posture. He was holding a camera.
おかげさまで。レイ、写真屋さんの館長さんだよ。レイを一緒に教会まで運んでくれた人なの。
It was nothing really. I just wanted to be of assistance. Shiona was adored by these people. They didn't think twice about wanting to help her. But I'm glad he's feeling better after that. So, what do you think? How about I take a photo to commemorate your recovery?
もう、写真屋さんったら会うたびにそればっかり。レイ、どうする？
A photograph. I thought of the picture in the living room. In it, Shiona was standing next to her brother. I imagined myself in his place, and somehow found myself wanting a photo like that. Alright, if it's okay.
レイ、撮りたいの？だったらいいよ。
I stood next to Shiona in the street. The photographer aimed his camera and moved a lever with his right hand. I could hear the sound of something being wound. Shiona? What's that sound?
フィルムを巻き取る音だよ。
Again, sorry about these notifications. Film? The cameras I knew about had optical lenses where the scenery was saved in digital form. Analog devices and exposure material like film that photos were projected onto were things that I knew only academically. I knew it was a system from a past era, and that the process called developing took a lot of time and effort. It was highly inefficient. Why can't he take digital photos?
デジタルは電気を使うからね。今ではあまり使われていないの。だけどフィルムならエネルギーを使わずに撮れて現像もできるから便利なの。
That's right. The photo in Shiona's house was on paper. I guess that energy supplies had changed since the world I knew existed. Or maybe it was just this town. While thinking that, I looked toward the camera lens in front of me. The photographer had plenty of time to take the photo, but he hadn't moved at all. Actually, he furrowed his eyebrows. You're too far apart. Move closer together, please. There was an unnatural space between me and Shiona. As I was fixated on what the photographer said, Shiona smiled and closed the space between us. I felt a great warmth when our skin touched. Alright, here we go. Say cheese! I still couldn't manage a smile. But of course, I was sure Shiona had no problem smiling. I knew even without looking at her. Okay, you're done. I'll send the photo when it's finished. After saying our thanks, we headed off toward our destination. Then, on the way, we passed through the town plaza. But there weren't many people there. I felt like they made a mistake calling this place a plaza.
前はね、ここにたくさんの人がいたんだ。だけどね、今ではもうご覧の通り。
Shiona smiled with a certain sadness. She didn't have to say why. I already knew. It was obviously tied to the diminished population.
みんなね、あんまり外に出てこなくなっちゃったの。
Is it because of the dirty air?
それもある。でも、怖いんじゃないかな。
Scared? Of what?
知らない？近くの町で襲撃があったの。
No, I didn't know that. What type of assault?
水を求めて乱暴な人たちが町を荒らして回っているらしいの。
For water?
ええ、そうよ。 生きていくためには水が必要だし、その水が出るのは場所が決まってるから。
I recalled the barren land I walked before reaching this town. It seemed that this place still had a clean water source, somehow. And of course, there would also be humans after it. So limited resources lead to conflicts. Shiona responded with a mournful laugh.
でもね、私は前みたいな街に戻ってほしいの。みんなが楽しく笑って過ごせていたあの頃に。
I didn't know when those times referred to for Shiona, but I understood the idea. There was a lonely expression on Shiona's face. I felt certain that during those times, Shiona had never made this face. If we could restore those times, maybe Shiona would smile forever. But if that was the case, what could I do to help? There was no way for me to answer that question at the time.
レイ、着いたよ。
After hearing her voice, I realized we had arrived at the shop. Compared to the surrounding buildings, this shop seemed abnormally old. The obviously handwritten "Mad's Shop" sign made the shop's condition clear. It was dark inside, and difficult to see in. Shiona, this is the shop?
そうよ。品揃えが素晴らしいの。鉛筆一本から重工具まで何でも揃っているのよ。
Try as I might, I just couldn't see what she was talking about. The atmosphere was fitting for monsters or something to have been living inside. Hey, Shiona, what kind of person is this mad fellow anyway?
赤くてチクチクしている人。だけどとってもいい人よ。
While that seemed like something she would say, I got a really bad feeling from it. But there was no turning back. I made up my mind and stepped into the shop. The inside was very dimly lit, as I had seen from outside. The inside was coated in dust. It seemed like he hadn't cleaned in a long time. It was completely different from Shiona's house. Even the food and items on the shelves were covered in a thin layer of dust. Was he seriously running a shop like this? It seemed wrong.
マッドさん、こんにちは。こんにちは。
Nobody seemed to answer Shiona's call.
留守なのかな。おかしいな。いつもはあの椅子にふんぞり返ってるのに。
Right where Shiona pointed was a chair next to the cash register. The chair had a slight bend to it, which gave a hint to how big Mad was. Shiona, is it okay to just enter like this?
大丈夫。マッドさんとは仲良しだから。レイ、店の中見てきて。
I went along with it and walked inside. There were a lot of food items in the front, but traveling toward the back, there was much, much more. From writing utensils to tools and machine parts, it seemed as if she just picked up these things and put them on display. There were even broken things on display, and several things I wasn't sure were for sale. It really looked like a scrapyard. However, one thing did catch my eye. On top of something like a disc, there were these strange moving needles. It looked like it would fit perfectly in my hands. I knew what it was, of course, but it was the first time I had seen one. It was an analog tool for telling time, made from an uncountable number of gears. It was powered by electricity, or a spring. A tool to tell the time. Without a doubt, the digital versions were far superior. They could receive waves from satellites or from all over the world that allowed for perfect timekeeping. More than anything, analog devices were subject to a lot of imprecise elements, and the slight pull of Earth's gravity also affected them. That's why using analog clocks would give you inaccurate times. But that was the kind of clock that was hanging here. Was it for sale? Curious, I extended my hands toward the clock. It was lighter than I expected. The second hand was moving steadily. A spring mechanism protruded from the back. So it didn't need electricity. This clock was moving solely due to the spring apparatus. I wound up the spring. I felt the spring inside the clock being wound up. It felt like I was breathing life into the device. Then something happened. It made a dull noise in my hands. It didn't sound good. It probably shouldn't have made that noise. Just like that, the steadily moving second hand stopped cold. I hurriedly tried to wind the spring. Wind the spring. Suddenly I heard a crunch. After that, the spring wouldn't turn.
Sama! Nani o shite irun da?
When Shiona said he was big and red and fiery, that's what I was expecting. Like a thunderclap, a booming voice from behind startled me. Turning around, I saw a large, enraged-looking guy standing there. His face was beet red.
Sono! Te!
He was so angry that he couldn't get the words out. He pointed to the clock in my hands. This had to be Mad. He kept his sharp eyes fixed on me. This? Looking into Mad's eyes, I was unable to speak. It was like he was already strangling me. My legs shivered. I couldn't move an inch.
Kowashita na. Kowashiyagatta na.
Did I break it? Could I have possibly done such a thing? While I considered this, he loomed forward with a giant step and violently grabbed my collar. His rough fists were pushing into my throat. I could hardly breathe. The clock in my hands fell to the ground. I could hear the crash of delicate metal parts flying in all directions.
Sama!
Gripping my collar, he dragged me through the store. Due to our difference in height, I had to try my best just to touch the ground. Of course, I couldn't put up any fight.
Ore no mise kara dete ike!
And upon saying that, he threw me right out of the shop. For an instant, I was floating through the air. I ended up landing directly on my back. For a few seconds, I lost consciousness and even stopped breathing. I could make out the glaring visage of Mad staring me down from within my upside-down view of the world.
いいかお前、二度と俺の店に足を踏み入れるんじゃない。もし来たら。
Mad then took a metal pipe that had been nearby and bent it like it was rubber.
これがその時のお前の姿だ。
He threw the pipe, and it landed next to me with a heavy thud. The wooden board squeaked under Mad's weight as he returned inside. Catching my breath, I got up while holding my hurt back, and rested it against the Mad's shop sign. I could barely stand. I couldn't make sense of what just happened. Why did Mad do that? And what was wrong with my body? Finally, Shiona came.
Rei, 大丈夫?
After coming closer, she worriedly began rubbing my back.
大丈夫? 怪我はない?
No, I'm fine. It's still a bit difficult to breathe, but the pain is slowly going away.
そう、ごめんなさい。私が目を離した隙にこんなことになってしまって。大丈夫? 顔、真っ青だよ。
Pale? I touched my cheeks. They seemed normal to me.
きっと、怖かったんだね。
Scary?
だからそんなに顔が青ざめてるの。それに、体がこわばって動かなかったんじゃない?
She was right. I couldn't move because Mad's aggressive demeanor froze me in place. It all made sense. So that was what fear was like.
それにしてもマッドさん、どうしてあんなこと？
I don't know. I was just touching the clock. I held my still shaking right hand with my left, as though restraining it. I was interested in how it worked, but when I touched it, it seemed like I broke it, and...
そっか。それでマッドさん怒ったんだね。
Anger. So the expression on his face was anger. I had learned about an emotion for the first time. Also, I had learned that fear accompanies anger. But why did Mad get so angry? There was only one thing I could think of. Perhaps I really did break that clock. It was inside his shop, so it must have been Mad's property, which meant that Mad became angry because I broke something that was his property. Did that mean that I would get angry if something of mine were broken? But I still didn't really understand the feeling. I didn't know what was important to me, so of course it hadn't been broken. So that's why I couldn't understand Mad's anger. It's about that time again, so I think I'll stop for now. Thank you very much for watching. Harmonia is available on Steam for $10. It's looking good so far, and it's made by Key, so I assume better things are yet to come. It's still fascinating now. But yeah, hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.